Alright, we are playing The Sinking City, and we just finished with the first mission, and we're on to the second. We managed to get this game quite a bit early, just through a problem on the PlayStation Store, I think, with the launch here. And we, so we've said before, we get a lot of requests for commentary, because we don't do all that much commentary on our videos, so this is the perfect game for commentary, because we can sit and try to figure out these cases together and do the detective work and kind of talk back and forth. We enjoy doing that on this kind of games. So, alright, what are we doing now?
So it's the Lost at Sea mission. We finished the Frosty Welcome.
Frosty Welcome. Okay, so we got Lost. So he gave us the key to their expedition headquarters. Robert Throgmorton funded an expedition to discover the origin of the mass hysteria gripping Oakmont. The expedition was to explore the seabed near Oakmont. Contact with the expedition was soon lost. Albert Throgmorton was the only known survivor. He was subsequently murdered. I was hired to find any other expedition members, dead or alive. Throgmorton will be waiting for my report in his manor in southern Old Grove. Okay. So, first things first is we wanted to go to the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get around this way, or?
I don't think so. I think we have to go the other way. The cops were guarding the spot over on the other side.
So we switched off who's playing. Who's Bob playing before, and I'm playing now. I am Steve, if anybody doesn't know.
So yeah, this is where the cops were before.
My hat! I'm coming, hat!
That's one way to fast travel to the hotel. I've never really had an illusion of safety while we've been running around this place.
My diary. I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops. I only remember the screens and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache, the worst I've ever had. Found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. He found me on it later, starving, half mad, and babbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The officials said none of what I thought I'd seen was real, but my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me.
I'm not sure thinking you have powers is proof that what gave you the powers makes it true.
Right?
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
So you saw that picture in that one cutscene, and they were all like messed up and
Monstery looking.
yeah, or maybe dead looking. Plea for help. Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are the private eye that caught the murderer in the port. My life is in danger and I cannot trust anyone in this city. Please come to my room, which is just opposite yours. I am in despair. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me and will take me soon. I've cast my lot and am beyond saving, but the 7 books must be saved at any cost. Even if I'm gone, find my notes there. This knowledge must not be lost, as it could be Arkind's last hope for enlightenment. Please be the bearer of this light, for I have failed. For help.
So that opened up the side quest Mystic
Side
Tomes.
quest Mystic Tomes.
Never again, they say.
Is that what they say?
Antipsychotics.
Bah. That's more like it.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
It's tincture of opium.
Think we know what's causing the visions. Bunch of stuff.
There we go. Go ahead.
Mr. Reed, it seems that you are overexerting yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throgmorton. Please forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time, Johannes.
I just assumed it was the giant sky monster that brought us here.
Big old giant squid thing.
Yeah. I think there was a notice on the board. Yeah.
Mr. Reed, you were the rare example of a man who treated one of my kind humanly, and I feel I have to repay the debt to you. Take this as a friendly piece of advice. Run, save your life, and leave this Drock city to the depths. Don't dig into its secrets, for they are not worth it. There's nothing good left here. I believe you can find a way to escape. Please heed my words, Lewis Flynn.
Like I'm going to listen to a fish monster.
That guy was hideous. His left toe was longer than his right toe.
What a monster. Come on in.
Book in the bank. Talking with locals is never easy, but this whole chap is one of the queerest yet. He was happy to talk about the book, but only laughed when I proposed to buy it. I left it in the most guarded place of the city and paid enough to keep it there till the world ends, and if it is abandoned after the flood, even better. Ignorance is the best guardian. I'm guessing he meant the abandoned bank building north of Advent on Forefather Street between Helog Street and Windhalf Avenue. Alas, it would be too dangerous to go there by myself.
I mean, if you want ignorance, maybe you shouldn't be writing down the exact address of the place.
It's Mystic Tomes. So this is a side mission. That's what it was talking about. So I think I don't want to do a side mission, so I think we're just going to grab all of these.
Yeah.
So that we have them, and we can go do this side mission another time.
I think there was another one behind you on, like, the chair. A lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors. I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave your landlord. locked their hotel room. That's their fault. Too many coincidences. So the lighthouse is out. Several ships have gotten lost at sea, and some are now decorating the city's beaches. That's one thing. But now there's an enterprising fellow at the city port hiring salvagers to recover ships. He's turning a tidy profit from selling them. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look into it. Now, if only this city wasn't so impossible to navigate. So is that another side mission, or
Doesn't look like it.
looks like that's going to be in lore, right? Documents.
So I think this is all stuff we've read.
Yeah. So fortune teller's prophecy. I'm tempted to go into the system controls and switch the up and down D-pad buttons. I always do the wrong ones.
Do they have alternate controls or anything in the game?
I don't think so.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
But yeah, the mind's eye, I wish it was an up
Yeah.
for mind's eye.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you want to stay on here? You stop making all that noise.
This guy's not an Innsmouther,
I don't know. He's got weird eyes like an Innsmouth.
but he has ears.
Yeah.
Like that other Innsmouther guy had no ears.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this guy's just a nut out.
All right.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Got any proof it was me? It could have been one of my neighbors. I slept like a rock. I didn't hear a thing.
That's exactly what a newcomer would say. Your neighbors are respectable people and would never do such a thing. Don't think your yellow-clad patron means you get away with everything.
You're not exactly friendly with your guests. Are we the ones keeping you in business?
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Pack of notes. Letters from Oakmont.
So,
That's another side mission.
with a bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff. So yeah, I think we'll leave that alone for now too. Note about the hobo signs. Darren, I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. Locals use signs to mark special places. That you know already, kind of like the secret signs hobos use all over the country. What I learned is that the tradition dates back to times well before the flood. I've been able to find out the meaning of some of them. You've seen the crooked H-shaped signs on doors around town. That means that the house is inhabited. Crosshatch grid sign marks hidden caches of useful items. The V-shaped sign is for barricaded, dangerous places. Good catch there, they say. Still haven't figured out the spiral-shaped sign, though. You'll have to investigate for yourself. And if you see a sign with a cross and 3 Ks, reach for the gun. K.
So yeah, that's what we were noticing on all of those boxes and everything.
So hobos have been all over the city and were nice enough to mark everything that we could take, but not take anything.
Maybe their inventories were full.
Then why are they hobos? Hobos don't have full inventories.
Fair enough.
My dear Victor, how is Oakmont treating you? Should you require any support, the Blackwoods will be happy to help you. I have arranged for that. Regarding your question, I don't know where Robert went, sadly, only that he did not stay in Innsmouth. Perhaps there is hope he didn't perish in that cursed raid. Take good care of the hotel, please. Plenty of our relatives were interested in the property, but you're still my favorite nephew. I know the Devil's Reef is in good hands. Kind regards, Aunt Portia. That's totally a stripper name. Walter, K help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap affordable living again. I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned, Vic. That's Vic, isn't it?
I think so. Go into your lore stuff. You've got the 2 documents to my dear nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Vic. So he apparently is
threatening somebody named Walter,
who's got cheap, affordable living. So, the phone booths is the fast travel?
Yes. Okay, so Robert Throgmorton gave me a key to the expedition's headquarters. It's in the northern cover side at the crossroad of Asher Road and Hubert Avenue. Okay, so he's waiting. Okay, this was crossroad of Asher Road and Hubert Avenue in
Cloverside. So that's
Coverside. Coverside.
Coverside.
Northern Coverside, Asher Road, and Hubert Avenue.
To the left. So we need to keep an eye out for those phone booths. That's the area. Oh, that is jarring.
She like scratching her back on my back.
You look tense, honey. You need to let loose.
Making an offer there. I just got propositioned.
Bang for a bullet.
Bang for a bullet. Get a lot of bang for your pocket there.
It's got to be around here somewhere. Do your vision. Probably. Okay.
Expedition headquarters.
Guess I don't need the key.
It's like a size 15. It's a huge footprint.
Divers with the bends can suffer from numerous symptoms, including pain, impaired movement, nausea, vomiting, and disorientation. Acute symptoms can occur within 10 minutes of surfacing and include paralysis, numbness, blindness, deafness, dizziness, seizures, confusion, or words coming out all weird. Paralysis and numbness can involve several different parts of the body at the same time.
Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition?
Follow those imaginary crows! Do you want to start with going down there or search the rest of the place first?
Did you hear something? I'm not sure if that was in the game or not. I thought I heard somebody saying something.
I think I did too. I think it was just a hallucination.
And why did we both hear it, Bob?
Because you're just a hallucination. Vision's going all wonky. Oh, it's probably because of the following the birds thing.
Someone smashed it beyond repair.
Bob.
Look, just because stuff got smashed beyond repair does not mean it was me. I'm not saying it wasn't me, I'm just saying that other people smashed things beyond repair. Eels?
Can't say I ever saw another show like it.
According to our data, the places with paranormal activity have a strong, previously unidentified influence on the human mind. We have prepared a list of solutions, including meditative practices and a supply of sedatives to prevent cases of madness among the expedition members. I highly recommend discarding all those charms, amulets, and religious symbols which are of no use and applying these scientifically valid methods of protection instead. Each doe.
See, now I know a hobo wasn't up in there.
Right?
They're not going to leave alcohol.
That's what I'm saying. The Oakmont University Department of Anthropology welcomes the newest addition to its ranks, Professor Harriet Doe. Her brilliant discoveries about the origin of Inuit tribes have added a new page to the history book of humanity. Now Professor Doe will embark on a new expedition to hopefully shed light on the source of the flood, and in so doing shed light on what may yet to become. It'd be funny if her first name started with a P.
Map of Cape Cod. It looks like there was something here, but it's been erased. These samples glitter in a weird way. I wonder where they came from.
L. Sullivan and B. Morgan, local fishermen, report numerous large bubbles and an unbearable stench rising from the bottom of the sea. Bought a sample of a weird substance floating in the ocean from J. Harway. He claims he found it among numerous dead and strangely deformed fish. The fish were taken for analysis. Several locals mention a rock that rose from the seabed, making the fog shine in different colors. The witnesses felt sick and dizzy for 2 or 3 days after the incident. L.P. Stern got severe burns after chiseling off a part of the rock in the basement. Samples taken for analysis.
So you just were playing around with a radioactive rock, and now our character has cancer. And you know that there's not a good cancer doctor in this city.
Following must be Deliv, unreadable. Grimham Bay, no later than Friday. Mark 5 diving suits, air tanks and pumps, canned goods, personal belongings, NAM something. Research equipment, 7 crates. Air pipes, phone station and wires, power generator, responsible for Delhi. What up? Whoa, hey. Watch it, buddy.
That guy was angry because he was looting this place, and then you come down and start looting.
This is probably the hobo that was making those signs.
He's marking that box.
Right. He's like, okay, I'll make this sign here so I remember to come back for the alcohol before I leave.
Guess this helmet's beyond repair.
We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Drop the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah me fe I regach I dagon.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Time to figure this out.
We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Drop the papers. Smash the rest. Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
I fatah me fe I regach I dagon. We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Drop the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah me fe I regach.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers.
Experience.
Expedition archive is lost, but I still have clues to follow up on. They left the city on a freighter from Grimhaven Bay. Might be recent postings or ads about the freighter in the Oakmont Chronicle.
Go to lore for a second.
King's Game. Wonder if that has something to do with that Johannes guy with his...
Yeah, he did say he really had an affinity for yellow and everything. And he does seem like kind of a shady dude.
I mean, he kind of looks like a gangster.
Yeah.
Okay. So that said, we needed to go to the Oakmont Chronicle.
Yeah.
Big block.
This. Somebody just shoot at us? That cop just kill that dude?
Kind of looks like a Gestapo.
And the body disappeared.
Well, no problem then. Crime solved.
Where is this place? It's a huge block.
It is a big block.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Help me out here. What's the connection between newcomers and old newspapers?
It's cold sleeping in the street, and they come to collect the old newspapers for warmth.
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time for you, Miss Bland. Do you still want that interview? I got some time now, if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We know that you're the private eye who solved the case, but tell our reader something more about yourself.
I'm a private eye in Boston. The situation in the port was a good use of my skills.
Well, Detective Reed, I think you'll find our city has a lot of secrets, but people may not like you poking your nose in. Maybe we'll have the chance to work together later. Who knows? And now the big question. Why are you here? What brought you to Oakmont?
Currently, I'm tracking down the source of the psychic phenomenon that's been causing madness and visions all across the country.
Yes, it affected people here, but we were much more concerned with the flood, though Robert Throgmorton sent an expedition.
Yeah, and then hired me to find it. Ironic, don't you think?
I think that's enough for now. I can't give the readers too much all at once. Thank you for your interview, Mr. Reed.
My pleasure. Maybe I'll do something interesting enough to make the papers again. You never know. See you later.
I think he was talking about flashing people.
I mean, he does have a
Wearing
trench
that
coat.
trench coat.
I don't know anybody that wears a trench coat that doesn't do it just to flash people.
Right? How else are you going to make the papers wearing a trench coat? Archives contain topical information. For example, City Hall holds general data about citizens and organizations, while info about specific categories of people like criminals or patients can be found in police or hospital records. In the casebook, evidence may have a hint icon indicating you need to do some archive research. In the archive interface, select the piece of evidence you wish to investigate, then choose 3 criteria to search for relevant information. A search conducted with the correct evidence and criteria will result in new information being added to the casebook. That's the archives, right?
They seem like the kind of crappy archives. Well, there's a lot of bullets.
Oh, was 5 rifle cartridges. One got it.
I wonder if we can come back here later and re-loot that thing.
Probably. I think we've been able to re-loot stuff before when we come back. Probably worth keeping in mind.
Yeah. That monkey man
That
is on
monkey
that
man
board.
is kissing some dude. What is
Also,
he?
the KKK is involved in some stuff here.
Gay monkey man and KKK who probably hates somebody. I don't know who they hate in this world. Okay, so we're looking for the cargo manifest.
Is it the manifest?
Isn't it?
I don't think so. It doesn't have the little icon on it that it said it would have. There it is.
Okay, burned newspaper. Expedition archive is lost, but I have police follow up. They left the city on a freighter from Grimhaven Bay. Okay, so I know it's Grimhaven Bay. It was after the flood.
Posting her ads. What are we supposed to do?
These are ads. Ship freight advertisement. The 30-ton ship. Finding something. The 30-ton ship Titania is currently available for hire. You'll find it fully equipped for transport, as well as the aiding of underwater ventures and exploration for the price of 70 rifle bullets or the equivalent thereof per week. Those interested are urged to contact Captain Jeremiah Sanders for contracting details. He can be found at Pier 3, Oakmont Port, Grimhaven Bay. I don't remember finding that.
Finding what?
The burned newspapers. I remember finding a manifest. Okay, so
I think that was from the little hallucination that we had to follow the thing, because they said burn everything, including.
Yeah, but that's where we found the burned cargo manifest.
Right. I don't think we actually found an actual thing. I think that was just information that we got from the hallucination saying that they burned.
So I see. So that wasn't an actual item. That was just the knowledge that they burned those newspapers.
Right.
See, that's why it was a little bit weird to me. It seemed like they should have just used a cargo manifest, because that gives us some of the information, like the fact that it was at Grimhaven Bay.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever. Figured it out one way.
Mostly because they put the symbol on the paper.
Okay, so that said Pier 3 in Grimhaven Bay, right?
Yeah.
And we do not have a fast travel permit in Grimhaven Bay, so we have to walk back.
Walking. And out.
Where's the bike? They ran me out. I lost that battle. Something awful.
The harpoon though.
I have a harpoon?
There's a harpoon in the boat. At least it looks like a harpoon. I kind of thought they were going to turn in front of us. Keep an eye out for sky squids. Last time they tried to eat our hats.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Keep an eye out for sky squids.
turn. Get the truck out.
The door won't budge.
I think that's the warehouse where we found Albert Throgmorton before. And you can't go into it now.
Oh, yeah.
The door won't budge.
You can go into the building there.
Thank Kay. At last. Hey, help. Help.
What's going on?
Sea creatures. Swarmed over the piers. I hid here, but these walls won't stand up to them. Please help me.
What creatures? What are you talking about?
Wild beasts. They came to feast on the blood. They're eating the dead.
Better than eating the living, right? What are you complaining about?
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know. The mayor's cursed these days.
I hate it when enemies move like that in games.
Yeah. You magically know when you're aiming at them and out now anyway.
Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man.
Apparently you gotta be out of your head to look at it, too.
Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man. They were in high spirits, and plenty of them were drinking.
I, Captain Jeremiah Sanders, hereby agree to take on board my vessel Titania any persons designated by Robert Throgmorton and the cargo detained in the attached manifest, as well as to provide them with any and all necessary assistance, up to and including depth measurements, as well as diving support for underwater exploration and marine life observations. Aforementioned services will take place in confidential locations in Cod Bay. Afterwards, the Titania will provide transport for all passengers to the Oakmont port. Compensation will be 70 bullets. Who can even carry 70 bullets?
This would be a weird artifact in any collection. Cape Cod. There were marks here, but they've been erased.
You're a shadow monster! Talk to that guy on the dock now. That sent us down here.
The monsters sure didn't leave behind much.
What are you talking about? That was like several full meals.
Most of that torso was still there.
Yeah, right?
Shot dead. Point blank. They emptied every chamber. Still stinks of burnt powder. I've dealt with the creatures. Now, tell me about Sanders.
He got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him.
What happened on the Titania?
It was horrible. A damn massacre. I heard the shots. I went out. I saw the whole thing. Sailors bleeding, dying. Blood hit the water, and then, well, then the wild beasts came to feast.
There were two of them, and they were tiny.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away. just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No. Only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
There might be a tear in reality there.
Bob.
Look, sometimes reality needs to get broken, okay? He was asking for it.
You can't take me! Eat this! To the mayor with you! Die! Die! No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum?
Let's get a handle on what actually happened here.
No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum? To the mayor with you! Die! You can't take me! Eat this!
For whatever reason, the crew went berserk. Only one man got away.
All evidence collected.
So, wounded sailor. Sanders. The harbor master saw Captain Sanders leading the pier. The only survivor of the fight on the third pier of Grimhaven Bay was a man badly wounded in the shoulder. Captain Sanders is the wounded man and is now seeking medical aid.
So now where?
The mayor's cursed these days.
You wanna loot that house some more?
I think we can go in.
The door won't budge.
During the mission.
You're the man who handled the problems in the port. Seemed like a sharp sleuth. Want to make something on the side?
You pay, I work. What's the job?
Ah, a fellow businessman. I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vince. First task is to find the ship's log for the Pride.
Charles Reed. A few questions, if I may.
Sure.
Why are you looking for a ship log?
Maybe I'll tell you when the job is done. Right now, you don't need to know.
In my line of work, you don't get far without appreciating the need for privacy. I understand. What can you tell me about the Pride? I'm gonna need somewhere to start.
Mostly rumors. The captain was an exemplary patriot. Always had a flag with him. His last shipment may have been chemicals in metal barrels.
It could be resting on the seabed 1,000 miles away. What makes you think it can be found?
I wouldn't waste my money on you unless I had hope. Local drunkards say they saw the barge on the sunken road near the fish market.
Good. I'll check the place and bring you the Pride's ship log if it's still there. See you later.
That guy is probably like there was there was a note we found in the hotel that mentioned somebody looking for
lost ship or something.
Ships or ship logs or something. Okay, so okay, harbor master. So he's got a shoulder wound.
There's a hospital.
Right. So there's asylum, hospital of St. Mary. Are there any other hospitals that we know of?
So the asylum it is then, right?
Asylum it is.
Go fight Joker.
Yeah.
So is there...
There's fast travel here that'll get us a little closer.
Not much, though.
No, not much, but definitely closer.
Definitely closer. There's a couple of them. They're both about the same distance away.
Right. I think this one might be better because, well, depends on if going on foot or on boat is better. I'll go here.
Did you put the marker on it?
I have it. I'm going to Dairy Lane.
Yep. Or you're just squirting all over the place like a drunkard.
Real hard to control sometimes. Especially when I've been drinking. And I beach.
That seems like it'd be a bad place to beach the boat.
It really does.
Now that's beachy.
Perfect. Yeah, that boat is going nowhere now.
Quit staring, newcomer. Get that rock out of here.
Seems like a place that's likely to have a fast travel.
Yeah.
New infested area.
Hospital sink loading screen.
Patient or visitor? Hold on. Let Dr. Grant guess. A visitor. Though you are a bit pale, you don't have a headache, do you?
My head? No complaints, I'm good.
Well, you're the exception these days. We're simply overflowing with patients.
It's because this entire city is filthy.
I'm looking for a man. Just checked in. Cut up pretty bad.
I've got a trauma unit full of patients like that, sir.
Okay, this might ring a bell. My guy has a deep axe wound in his shoulder.
Sir, I really don't have time for rifling through paperwork, but you're welcome to take a look at our archives if it means that much to you.
It looks like hard work in these conditions. You need a hand?
Well, yes, actually, but it may result in close contact with the wiles. Is that going to be a problem?
I'm prepared to face men and beasts alike. Count me in.
Ah, I can see it in your eyes. Well, I have taken it upon myself to study the wild beasts, but need more data to confirm two of my hypotheses. One concerns the multi-handed creatures, and the other the vomiting humanoids.
What have you found out about the multi-handed beasts?
One of my patients saw them in his nightmares before the flood. I can't visit him, but he must know something. Here's his address.
Those hideous wretches seem almost human. But what could turn one into such a monstrosity?
Jim Bells, a patient of mine, was admitted to hospital with symptoms resembling cholera, but he turned into one of those things. Incredible. Here's the address. Find out what happened.
Bye.
Field research?
Field research, yeah. Okay. Archives. We are looking for patients. Let's see. Okay. Obviously after the flood. Surgery?
Yep, probably.
Peter Crowley, M29, Oak Modern, multiple burns and fragmentation wounds to chest and face as a result of explosion. Several surgeries, wound treatment, facial surgery, prognosis good, bed rest recommended. Joseph Willow, male, 39, newcomer, deep cut wound to left shoulder, broken collarbone, fractured scapula, wound stitched, fractured, set and bandaged. No trace of infection evident. Prognosis good, best. Bed treatment recommended.
What happened to you, mister?
Pete. Explosion. Fishing with dynamite. Hurts talking.
Fishing with dynamite, huh? You sure it wasn't from a fight in port? Maybe on a ship?
I'm sure. Oh, please, leave.
Bye.
Oh, my stomach. I ain't never eaten leeches ever again, no sir.
Yeesh. What happened to your shoulder?
Some psycho in a bar brawl. Gun came out, he clipped me good in the shoulder. Something I can help you with?
I'm just looking for someone. Captain Sanders.
Captain Sanders? Never heard of him. I'm Joseph Willow. You should probably look somewhere else.
That's funny. The records say you were admitted for an axe wound, just like a certain Captain Sanders got in the port massacre. Spill.
Oh, to the depths with it. Who sent you?
I'm asking the questions here, pal.
Yeah, well, first tell me who you are.
Charles Reed. I'm a newcomer. I'm looking for the source of the Oakmont visions.
We had them, my crew and I. And during the expedition, the dreams. You can't understand, Mr. Reed. You weren't there.
I think it'd be an understatement to say your expedition met with disaster.
There are things that should never be found, Mr. Reed. I only wish I'd known that then. Maybe they'd still be alive. The scientists, my crew, none of them deserved what happened to them.
What were you looking for underwater?
The cause of all this. The stones, the flood, the monsters. The scientists found cracks on the seabed. They were working on some theory of how it connected to the madness.
The ocean floor splits open and that means hysteria on land. Really?
We spent days over the cracks. We heard things. Saw things looking back at us.
Tell me what happened on the last dive.
We had a system. The divers go down, then come up at a prearranged time. But not one surfaced that day. In the end, I sent a team to check. They returned with Albert, but all were half mad with fear.
Did you know Albert Throgmorton made it to shore?
Albert survived? Is he here?
No. He didn't make it. He's dead as the rest. Murdered in the port. But what about the others?
I don't know. My crew left them down there, underwater. I ordered a rescue attempt, but they threatened mutiny.
You've got a good reason for leaving the expedition to die, right?
You weren't there. Day after day on that ship, it was a horror, Mr. Reed. We saw things. Not one of us dared sleep. It was an expedition into cursed waters, mark my words.
I was on the Titania before I came here. It seems you were all hitting the bottle pretty hard. Why?
To stop them from rioting. To save them from despair. After those dives, anyone would turn to drink.
So, the diving did a number on your crew. What happened in the port?
I don't know. They were calm until we docked, and many good men lost their lives.
Could you take me out to where the last dive took place?
No. You can't follow them, Mr. Reed. It's suicide. Worse than suicide.
I'm a Navy diver, Captain. And with all due respect, I'm not afraid of boogeymen.
I don't care. I'm not taking you there. And besides, you'll never follow them without proper equipment.
Do you know where I can get a good diving suit?
My men got theirs from a local factory. If you're that bullheaded, I'll write down the address.
Where's the logbook from the Titania?
I had it with me, but I was all out of it by the time I got here. I remember the surgery ward. When I came round, my things were gone.
Get better soon.
Scratch me. Please, please, just here. This itching is driving me insane.
Go pants.
So close to another point.
Really close.
We are full up on gunpowder. More bullets. My shell casings too.
Dan, accident place. Crew complaining of noises and no sleep. Fish behaving strangely. March 22nd, reached the crew reporting hallucinations. March 23rd, distributed rum. Hopefully it will distract them. March 23rd, found an air pocket in the caverns near the Devil's Teeth, close to the city. Scientists discovered walls, ancient walls, asked for crates with tools. March 24th, sent Tate and Myers down to investigate the surfacing deadline pass. After surfacing deadline passed. March 24th, Tate and Myers returned with only Albert Throgmorton, who is now completely unhinged. His madness disturbing, unsettling. March 24th, the crew dragged Albert to a lifeboat, tried to stop them, resulted in mutiny.
So things went really well.
That's what I got out of that. All according to plan.
Quest rewards, you think?
Yeah. Titania crew went mad and started a massacre in the port as a result. Wasn't done. Thanks.
Two locations.
Diving suit factory. What's the other one?
I guess it's just the diving suit factory. So the other one was the spot out in Devil's Teeth, but
you gotta get this diving suit first. Okay. So factory in Western Grimhaven Bay.
It's down at the bottom.
On C. Smith Avenue. Between Levi Coffin Avenue and Deep Shore Avenue. So there.
Yep.
Fresh fish. Just caught, mister.
I can't tell where I'm going.
This wouldn't even hold air for a minute.
You have to hurry.
I'm not trusting my life to a rusty suit.
Now we go diving?
I think so. Okay, so expedition's last dive was made near the Devil's Teeth. Coordinates marked on the map. I guess that's probably it.
Fresh fish. Just caught, mister.
Guy doesn't sound like he's from Massachusetts at all.
People can move, see. Well, I don't know why anybody would move here.
Yeah.
Like the
especially with all these loading screens.
The newspaper lady said that the newcomers always need newspaper to like sleep under. Why would a newcomer even come here? It seems like it would be hard to come here. Like, didn't they say earlier that it was just like there was one boat that was coming here?
Yeah, the place isn't on any maps, and it's hard to find your way here.
Why would anybody want to come here? It seems the worst. Although free meat on the dock.
Monsters sure didn't leave behind much.
Like, also, you know, if you're like a squid connoisseur,
there are squid everywhere.
Squid everywhere, so,
although I don't know if that squid is good for eating.
I think that's actually an octopus.
Still doesn't look good for eating.
Yeah.
It's a tentacled beast that does not look good for eating.
But I mean, honestly, what tentacled beast looks good for eating?
That's fair. That's fair. Last time somebody came down here, they went insane. So what could possibly go wrong with somebody who's already having questionable, like, sanity issues going down here. We'll probably be fine.
Helmet does not seem well designed.
With the tiny little spots that
remember,
aren't even right in front of his eyes.
Right in the front of his eyes, he has to crane his head back and forth to try and look out.
Yeah.
Poor visibility.
You can press any button to continue.
You can press any button to continue.
I can't. You're the one controlling it this time.
Harpoon stuns hostile creatures, flares light your way, and can distract hostile creatures. Damage, hold R1.
There's something with that light right there.
The chemical lamps are nearly spent, but I reckon I can still follow them. This stone isn't natural. Could it be a statue?
It's fine.
Let me turn off my lights so I can retract it.
Alright, maybe the big thing isn't fine. We do seem to be losing sanity here.
Sanity schmanity.
Maybe the sanity vision. That'll be fine, I'm sure.
See? You've got a point for this guy.
Taking a little snap.
The evidence collector I just got here.
Well, we're really good at evidence.
Scientists didn't even take their tools with them.
Bunny!
Hello, Bunny.
Gods lean over us. Gods crawl in us. Gods who have marked me as their aphid.
The suits are all cut up. A ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throgmorton.
He's already dead.
Just making sure. Never be too careful about these things. You know about double taps?
Fair enough.
What up, crazy?
Sancta Mare, be our eyes, eyes to see the distant stars.
This is the telescope. Come on.
Hark, he comes! The sacred full-bellied bearer of splendor. Take me, make me, I beg you.
Bearer of what? Who are you talking to? What happened?
Our eyes, first, second, third, opened by the aura. You see much, yet do not see the splendid shell of the white virgin here sleeping.
Cut the horse crap. Give me a straight answer.
Nonsense. But it is meaning that is meaningless. Open yourself. Walk, listen, pray. Wake, you holy worm. Take his skin and skull for your home. Take my worship and grant your kindness. I pray you.
A perfectly preserved artifact. Was it the focus of their worship?
Can't leave the survivors to die here, even if their madness may influence others. This was not their fault, or I have to abandon the survivors. Their infectious madness is too dangerous to bring to the surface. Taking the risks.
I mean, I've been trying to abandon the one crazy person I know for years, but can't get rid of
Yeah,
you.
good luck with that.
But really, we can't bring these people to the surface. I mean, the one guy that got to the surface from this, like, caused just huge amounts of death because of it.
The outbreak of madness on the Titania was caused by Albert's presence. The crew exiled him to a lifeboat to stop it.
And it did not work.
Albert was the source of this madness. Albert Throgmorton was the source of the madness that made the Titania crew kill one another. Probably show that picture to Throgmorton. Go back down there.
Where's that light pointing? Oh, yeah. wish we had a giant evil statue in our basement.
We don't have a basement.
Well, we need to get one, and then we can get a giant evil statue.
We haven't checked the attic.
That's true. It's a good map.
Does it just not have a map here, I guess? Is it going to come up and tell us when we have all the evidence here, or?
I don't know. There's something over there. A little blue puppy. Oh, it looks like it's one of those rips in reality. We also need one of those artifacts that drives people insane that look at it or touch it.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits. Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
Okay. What? It's shivering. This... no! Get away from me!
I think I'm starting to get the picture.
Okay, so... obviously looking first.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving.
Okay. What? It's shivering.
Forget them! Get the seed and the seal now!
The expedition found an artifact that drove them mad. And then the Innsmouthers stole it and the professor in one go.
Key evidence collected. Okay, good. The Innsmouthers know the truth about this madness. They need the artifact and Harriet, the one who took it. Okay, so it's too dangerous to save the survivors. The Innsmouthers or Harriet must have the answers about this madness.
So the other option is we can change the abandon the survivors.
The survivors to save the survivors, and then you have to save the expedition. I must tell Robert where the survivors are and start searching for Harriet. And we're going to be all cold-blooded about it.
I mean, I think we kind of have to be.
Right.
Mostly you, because you're a bad person and you forced me to make that decision.
A ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throgmorton.
So now...
the other way. That's creepy statue there.
Bunny guy. Hello, bunny guy. If I come back, I'll bring you a carrot.
But I won't be coming back.
I'm gonna die here, alone and carrotless. Sorry.
Messed up. You can hear him getting the beds there.
Well, that's not gonna help his madness.
I mean, it might. I think you can die from the bends.
There's ambushed the expedition on the seabed in the caverns they had discovered. They waited until Professor Doe took the artifact, then attacked. The attackers seized the professor and the object, leaving the remainder of the expedition to their fates. So I guess the only thing left is to go back and talk to Throgmorton at his mansion.
Right.
Which is there.
Which the fast travel point by the hospital is probably the best bet. As close as we've got.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter because he's all hallucinating anyways, but he didn't have the right clothes on in that cutscene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had his newcomer's suit with the stupid backpack with all the crap on it. But I mean, it doesn't matter because obviously completely different clothes here. This is the rare case of them not having to change the clothes in the cutscene. Not really, man.
Right. Because it's the same time cutscene.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure nothing will come of that.
Just need a couple ibuprofen. Takes care of squid tentacles in your wrists. I guess that saves us some walk.
That's true.
Diary Part 2. The doctors at the Boston Asylum were looking for a way to fix me. It proved to be a tall order. At first they'd ask me questions. I thought my story would be reported to the officials, but they were just making a list of things to fix. I feared water, so they swallowed me in drenched sheets. I told them about the things in the darkness, so they kept me in dark rooms blindfolded. No progress until they brought the electrodes. They kept my thoughts jumbled. Only the words of the doctor held my mind together. He told me who I am and how to think. He gave me concoctions to keep me sane. Seems I'm getting used to it. The question is, for better or for worse. Does not seem like he had the best psychiatric care.
Yeah, I mean, why blindfold somebody and put them in a dark room? It just seems
like
redundant.
Swaddled in damp sheets.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of water. Don't worry, this is a safe space, so we're going to torture you with your greatest fears.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Okay, so we can still get a little closer. I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's interesting. I wonder what would have happened if I just got that button stuck up there. I think I could have.
Can you jump out of the boat?
I don't believe you can. Oh, maybe you can. Maybe getting the boat stuck up there is not Alright. So that's good to know. You don't necessarily have to have a port to get out of your boat. So I was thinking, as long as we're on the way by, we should stop by that room with the chronicle and see if that thing of bullets is
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Little pile of bullets. 5 load screens later. I think it was on the top floor. Not the toilet.
Not the archives. And yeah. Can't carry anymore, but so 5 is probably the max number of bullets for the rifle to begin with, at least. But that was still kind of a lot of stuff. So
I think we're maxed out on revolver ammo now.
Yeah, 12 was the max on there.
So yeah, it's probably worth just stopping by here every once in a while.
Yeah, that's another thing is we should pay attention for stuff like that, for places that might just have a lot of resources that we can loot over and over again.
Yeah, and it has to be places like that that we'll be able to enter here, because...
Right. Yeah, things tend to close off after you're done with them.
But that newspaper, that seems like somewhere that's probably always going to be open.
Right. Assuming I put the mark on the map.
We're just running in a completely wrong direction.
Right.
It's going to take 20 minutes to open the map.
I know. Hobo fight! Hobo fight!
Statues on his
monkey ranch. Monkey Manor, maybe?
The ape apartments.
mortician has touched him up well.
In loving memory, Albert Throgmorton, son of respected Robert Throgmorton and descendant of a robust bloodline, died on Thursday at Oakmont Port, aged 25 years. We mourn his untimely death, but we celebrate the way he lived his life. The Throgmorton family appreciates the many comforting words and prayers sent by the citizens of Oakmont. Where's the funeral potatoes?
Maybe we came too late.
Rip off.
Well, maybe we can loot their basement.
Doesn't look like there's anything lootable in the basement. And also no funeral potatoes.
What kind of crappy rich people doesn't have anything you can loot?
Or funeral potatoes.
The door won't budge.
Not with that attitude.
It's probably just, you know, weak from not having any funeral potatoes.
That's right.
Bad news, Mr. Throgmorton. The expedition members are dead, and the Innsmouthers kidnapped the professor.
Those degenerates, they dare get in my way.
Your expedition found something buried in the ruins. The Innsmouthers were after it. They captured Professor Dell, along with the artifact she was carrying.
Artifact? What artifact? Where did you find them? Tell me everything.
Your men found some kind of underwater temple. In it was an ancient artifact. The Innsmouthers call it the Seal. The Innsmouthers were lying in wait. Your men took the item, and the Innsmouthers took their chance and made off with Professor Dell and the artifact.
How did they catch them off guard?
Seems that after the seal was taken from its place, everyone in the expedition suffered some kind of mental breakdown. The Innsmouthers must have known about that and waited for the right moment.
They knew what was going to happen. Inconceivable. Wait a moment, how did you know they were Innsmouthers?
One of the attackers was killed by a member of the expedition. I have a photo.
My expedition failed. My boy was killed. This is more than personal, Mr. Reed. This is a threat to everyone.
They have Harriet and the artifact she found, but she may still be alive.
That's why I hesitate to wipe their fish-faced kin from Oakmont this instant. But we won't sit idle. Find them, Mr. Reed. Not the grunts, but their leaders. Infiltrate their ranks if need be. Bring me my professor back.
This smells of trouble. Innsmouthers seem irritable, and my doctor says that drowning's not too good for me. So, why should I help?
I'll pay you a decent sum for this job. And you came here to look into the madness, correct? Professor Doe shares those visions. She found something inside the ruins, and now they have her. She knows something crucial, I'm certain. There's also a more delicate matter I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Reed.
I can be delicate when it matters, so shoot.
I have a colleague, you might say. His name is Herbert Glover. Like myself, he is a collector of fine art.
I'm a detective, Mr. Throgmorton, not a burglar.
I don't care for your insinuation, Mr. Reed. I would never be so crass as to hire a thief. I had a meeting arranged with Herbert. One of great importance, shall we say. One at which he failed to appear. I want you to find out why.
Sounds simple enough. Okay, I'll do it.
Very good, Mr. Reed. There is one final detail. This case must remain secret, and you must not reveal to anyone for whom you are working.
Discretion is my watchword.
Indeed. Here is Herbert's address and an advance for your investigation. You'll find it's fair.
Have a good day.